So part 1 video included actually applying the zero product property. Part 2 is going to be the full solving by factoring. So we're going to start with an easy one to factor. Okay. And you can use as much of the process as you need to, or as little as you need to. If we take a second to factor this, and I will leave room for the A, C, and B, but I'm going to show you just how quick this can be. X squared comes from x times x. So these have to be x. 8 has a couple options. Okay, 1 times 8 is an option. 2 times 4 is an option. That's pretty much it, right? Which of these pairs can add up to 6? 2 and 4. And they both are going to have to be positive. There are no negatives here. So positive 2 and positive 4. Those go straight into my binomials because there is no A. Well, A is 1. Okay. If I did the A, C, and B, AC is 8, B is 6. I would still pick out the 2 and the 4 because they add up to 6. And if you went through the box method or the grouping, this is what you're going to get anyways. Okay, but here's the new part. What do I do with these to get the solutions? Because these are factors, but they're not yet solutions. How do I apply the zero product property? Yeah. X plus 2 equals 0, x plus 4 equals 0. Set each one equal. If I subtract 2 from both sides, then x is negative 2. If I subtract 4 from both sides, x is negative 4. So these are my solutions. If I were to graph this parabola, they would cross at negative 2 and negative 4. Okay. So we're going to do another one. Now, what do you notice about this one that when you're factoring should raise a red flag? The 88 is on the wrong side, right? You can't have an equal sign in the middle of your quadratic. It has to be equal to 0, okay? So if it's on the wrong side, we're going to have to subtract it to get it on the other side. Don't mistakenly combine it with either of these, because these have x's, those don't. They're not like terms. But if we subtract from both sides, we have 2x squared minus 5x minus 88 equals 0. This one, 88 has a handful of factors, and 2 comes into play, so I would do the longer method, either the grouping or the boxes. So AC and B. My AC is negative 176. My B is negative 5. Have you guys figured out by now that the smaller this number is, the closer your factors are going to be to each other? Like if this were 1, they'd only be consecutive, like 7 and 8, or 5 and 6. Okay? The bigger this gets. So the farther I go down, the closer my numbers get to each other. So it's not going to be 1 and 176 or 2 and 88. Okay? If you're checking your pairs, we get down to 11 and 16. What signs? 16 has to be negative in order to add up to a negative. So if you're going to do the boxes, we have 2x squared negative 88. Make sure you go with this, not that. Plus 11x minus 16x. Okay, this one's fairly easy. The only way you can get 2x squared is 2 and 1, right? Right here, 2 times 1 is 2. So one way or another, either it's 2 times 1 or 1 times 2. Where does the 2 need to go? On the left? Yes, it's a factor of 2 and 16. So this has to be 2x, and this would just be x. Okay, you can use these to help you over here. 2 times what gives me negative 16? Negative 8. And x times what gives me 11x? Positive 11. So our binomials are 2x plus 11 and x minus 8. Those are factors, not solutions. What do I still have to do? Yeah, I have to set each of these equal to 0 to solve, right? So this is where I use the zero product property. I say 2x plus 11 equals 0, or x minus 8 equals 0. So I'd have to subtract 11. And I'm running out of room here. So 2x is negative 11. I would have to divide out the 2. So x would be negative 11 over 2. That's one of my solutions. Here I just get to add 8, right? So x would equal 8. So those are my two solutions. Yeah, so we said 11 times negative 16. All right, so if you're using the grouping, then you'd have 2x squared. You'd replace negative 5x with these, plus 11x minus 16x minus 88. If we group the first two, 2 and 11 don't have a GCF. Well, the GCF is 1, but you can still pull out the x. So 2x plus 11 inside. Negative 16 and negative 88 would be negative 8. So it would be 2x plus 11. So x minus 8 is one binomial. 2x plus 11 is the other. And you would finish it the same way we did on the other page. Set each one equal to 0 and solve, and you get the same result. Okay, there's one last example I want to do and get it on the video. It's number 11 in the homework. W squared minus 8w equals 0. Okay. When there's no c, there are not two binomials. Okay. So this looks harder than it is. This is not C, this is B, right? When there is no C, all you're going to do is factor out a GCF. It's actually easier than it appears. So no C, pull out the GCF. That's all you can do. So what's the GCF of w squared and 8w? W. So this is w times w minus 8. That's as factored as we can get it. Now our factors are w and w minus 8. So instead of setting both binomials equal to 0, w equals 0, that's the easy one. You don't even have to solve. That's one of the factors. Or w minus 8 equals 0, which means w could be 8, right? Once you've seen this, I saw this first hour, you cannot do this when there's a C because W isn't a GCF of C, right? C has no variable, so you can't factor the variable out of all 3 terms and do it this way. If there's a C, you're going to have 2 binomials.